Pentagon Papers liberator Daniel Ellsberg has praised his courage. Dan Choi, ousted from the military under Don't Ask, Don't Tell, has said he is a patriot who has done true service to his country. In our third story on the countdown, both of them have now been kicked out of the preliminary hearings in the military's case against PFC Bradley Manning. Lieutenant Choi will join us presently. Over the weekend, the defense began its arguments by pointing the finger at the Army's chain of command and claiming officers knew that Manning was, quote, gender confused and emotionally unstable due to the impact of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and that higher-ups should have known not to give him access to state secrets. Today, the hearing focused on computer forensics, with investigator David Shaver testifying that he found 10,000 State Department cables on Manning's computer. The courtroom briefly cleared for half an hour so that Shaver could testify about the classified material that was found, even though the point was that the material Manning supposedly had wound up being decidedly unclassified by being posted by WikiLeaks. My guest on Friday, fellow government whistleblower Daniel Ellsberg, was expelled from the hearing after introducing himself to Manning. Activist Lieutenant Daniel Choi, after first being delayed from entering because he was in uniform, was forcibly ejected. Tweeting, "Was handcuffed and pinned to ground, now escorted off base. They ripped off my rank." Later tweeting a photo showing the damage done to his uniform and to his wrist. And joining me now, as promised, retired Army Lieutenant Dan Choi. Thank you for your time tonight, sir.
Well, it's an honor to be with you in the uniform of my country.
How are you feeling, first off? Is the wrist in bad shape?
It's really numb right now. It's not like many other times that I've been arrested. It's actually a lot worse than the time when I was taken in custody in Moscow, Russia. I'm going to have to go to the hospital, actually, after this to get it checked out.
Did you get an answer as to why you were not just ejected but handcuffed?
Not a full answer, and it's not surprising that the public affairs officers there have not been fully forthcoming with the truth of what's happened. I can speculate that the reason why is basically they were angry about my wearing the uniform and needed to find another way to punish me and kick me out.
2 or 3 days of this, and the read for those of us who are laymen is that this is a very strange hearing even for the military. Is that your sense too, or is this much more par for the course than the rest of us would know?
No, you don't have to be in the military to understand. This is a show trial. This is a farce of justice. And being in that courtroom this weekend, I don't think that America has had lower moments. This is, for the reputation of America, probably the worst thing that can happen. And I've come to the conclusion now that Bradley Manning is not on trial. The United States of America, habeas corpus, and the right to a fair trial, innocent until proven guilty, that's all on the stage for the world to see. It's embarrassing.
You get removed. Daniel Ellsberg gets removed, a great hero of this country's freedoms. They clear the court to hear evidence that is available online, and because it's online, that's why supposedly everybody's in court. What's going on here? I mean, you said show trial, and you said how important this was, but why make it not just a show trial? It sounds like a comedy act almost. It's in some respects, it seems ridiculous even by military standards.
Yes, you have to consider a couple of things are glaring. Number one, the judge or the investigating officer works for President Obama in the DOJ, Obama's DOJ. Well, President Obama has already called the private Manning guilty. He's already called the entire game. So nobody in the military is going to go against their commander-in-chief. I think when we take a look at what's going on overall, though, we have to realize that with the Geneva Conventions, the Hague, and the laws of land warfare, ethics in war, it was only Bradley Manning who did his job, who fulfilled his duty when he saw a war crime. And that needs to come out. The defense hasn't laid out its case yet, but I'm sure that they will. I think that's the strongest case because Bradley Manning in that room stood for truth. And I think in that room, he is the freest among all of us, even though he's chained and shackled, because he stood for truth.
The defense strategy that they introduced, painting him as the phrase used was gender confused, unstable because of suppression from Don't Ask, Don't Tell. As an activist for gays in the military, do you feel that this is an appropriate thing to introduce? Is it relevant? Is it in fact accurate?
Well, Don't Ask, Don't Tell was oppressive at its core. I think the most that can come out of the defense on that is a mitigating factor. I think we need to focus on why Bradley Manning did was compelled to tell the truth. And I think at this point, we can't say that he did any of this or didn't do any of this because he's gay or transgender. He did this because he's a good soldier, and he saw war crimes, and he knows, look, our troops are coming back from Iraq. Our country needs to heal. There are a lot of bad things that have happened, and honestly, what happens from here on out, as we move forward as a country, we need truth in order to gain justice. You can't have justice without the whole truth. And so what Bradley Manning did as a gay American, I'm proud of him, as a gay soldier, because he stood for integrity. And Keith, one thing about the gay community is that our community, among all of the communities in the world, we're the only one that bases its membership on integrity and telling the truth about ourselves, declassifying that information for the betterment of our entire lives and societies and families. And when we do that, we realize that the gay movement is more important than just for gay people alone.
Well put, sir. Retired Army Lieutenant Daniel Choi, take care of that.
Oh, Keith, I have to say one thing. I'm sorry, the disrepair of my uniform. When they threw me to the ground, they ripped off my rank. But one thing to all those people who were there, the American people don't back down. And I want you all to know that we are filing charges against you. You are on notice. Consider yourself served.
Excellent. Take care of that wrist, sir. Take care.